Alrighty, so before I finally summarize and give some last remarks on our side, I'd like to address the fact that Chris just brought up about the CDRs and not disclosing information in terms of transparency within the government. Now, this also does not come into address or recognize what I had stated previously with having a third-party entity house the collection of telephone data. Now, by doing this and having an outside third party from the government, that company or that entity would be more inclined or under different rules than a different government agency. Therefore, Congress would be able to add transparency, civil liberties, and privacy protections that were set out to be attained by the USA Freedom Act. I'd also like to remind you guys of the national security benefits that the Patriot Act has provided for the United States. Since 2012, within a 2012 report, it was reported that over 50 terrorist attacks had been directly stopped. Now, obviously, that's 7 years old, so you can assume that many more terrorist plots have been foiled as a result of these permissions, as well as the fact that many terrorist attempts might not have even been attempted because of the fact that increased security dissuades people from trying it in the first place. I'd also like to remind you that that government searches are perfectly constitutional and legal, as outlined in the Fourth Amendment. There should be no unreasonable search and seizures. That is, in a report in the national interest, Matai Etzioni notes that the Constitution recognizes that some searches do not violate rights and are fully legitimate, and that criteria is based on if they're unreasonable or not. Finally, I'd like to kind of leave you with one last kind of idea to kind of play within your head. So within that same national interest article, there is a quote from a apprehended terrorist who explains that you need to be lucky all the time, obviously referencing to the intelligence agencies. I just need to be lucky just once. Now that's something just important to consider in my opinion, because as Jason talked about earlier, if someone is improperly imprisoned or investigated, they can always be paid back or apologized to, but we can't apologize to the people whose lives are lost as a result of the vile actions of some terrorists.